Hi, Tim Blanchett with Divorce661.com, specializing in California divorce. We handle divorce cases all throughout California. Today we're talking about alimony and spouse support in California. And specifically, this video is about what types of payments do not qualify as alimony. We're doing a series of videos where I found a publication put out by the Franchise Tax Board that's talking about some of these specifics, and they're interesting because they go to the effect of tax as opposed to what it is necessarily, but how certain items of spouse support and alimony and what alimony is considered to be and what they're not. And this particular are types of alimony payments that do not qualify as alimony. And the reason that's important is because alimony payments are tax deductible. So if it's established in a different way, it wouldn't be tax deductible. And I wanted to give you what the Franchise Tax Board is saying would not qualify as alimony, therefore would not be tax deductible. Property settlement payments, even if required by the divorce decree or other written instrument or agree. So this is just a distribution of property. Let's say you guys split up an asset, sold a house, and so forth. That, from reading this, that perhaps would not be considered alimony. Of course, you're going to want to talk to tax advisors, talk to an attorney about the specifics of this. We're not giving tax advice or legal advice. We're just trying to get this information out there in a more easily readable and findable way. Retirement benefits that the other spouse is entitled to receive based on division of community property. Okay, so what that's referring to is if, let's say the working spouse, you have two spouses, one not working, one's working, one's not working. The one that's working, let's say they have accrued a $100,000 pension. The pension, because it's community property, according to the Franchise Tax Board, would be divided. Let's say they were married 10 years, they're in the pension system 10 years, so it's going to be divided 50-50. That's $50,000 that spouse would receive as a distribution from this community property asset would not be considered alimony. It would just be a division of a community asset. So that $50,000 wouldn't be tax deductible and it wouldn't be counted as alimony per the Franchise Tax Board. Any voluntary payments made before they are required by divorce decree or written agreement. I got to read that again. Any voluntary payments made before they are required by the divorce decree or written agreement. Okay, so this is interesting. I may do a separate video altogether on this. So without a court order, there's no order, therefore you can't get the benefit of the alimony. So if you are going through a divorce and let's say you've separated and you're living in a separate residence, but you're giving your spouse money on a monthly basis, which a lot of people do. And it's recommended, of course, for a variety of reasons, but not the topic of this discussion. Any money you're giving your spouse, so let's say you separate, you're giving your spouse $1,000 a week or $4,000 a month, you cannot get a credit for that, so you can't deduct that off your taxes at the end of the tax year because there's no court order. You need to get what's called a temporary order. So you have a court order showing from this date forward, you're paying this much. You can always amend that in the final judgment, but you're not going to get credit for those, nor are you going to be able to deduct that. So the benefit or the idea would be to get a temporary order as soon as possible so it is tax advantageous to you. And I am going to do a separate video right after this one to talk specifically about that because it's very, very important. And then the last one they have here is child support payments. Child support payments are not alimony. Obviously, they're not spouse support. And they're also not tax deductible, nor does the other party receiving it have to claim it as income. Tim Blanchett with Divorce661.com. We specialize in California divorce. I hope this information was helpful. Please call us if you'd like us to help you with your divorce in California. We work on flat fee pricing. I'd be happy to take care of that for you. Number here is 661-281-0266. Feel free to give me a call for a free consultation.